In this video, we're going to be having a very simplified and practical conversation about building wealth using real estate. And this time around, not just real estate as a broad concept, but leveraging on the strategy of land banking and off-plan to build wealth in the real estate sector here in Nigeria. My name is Raymond Ijoma, and I am the lawyer that loves real estate, or if you like, the real estate entrepreneur that uses law and real estate as a tool in building wealth for myself and my clients. And I hope that you are already my client, or you are already on your way to becoming my client, because right here we are building wealth leveraging on real estate. And you may want to subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment, and do stay in touch. If you're familiar with this YouTube channel, you definitely would have heard me talk about land banking or even off-plan as a strategy of building wealth through real estate. But this time around, we're going deeper and having a more practical conversation in a way that will help you gain clarity as it relates to what to do and how to do it the right way for you to gain profit, gain maximum profit, as well as gain that profit quickly. Emphasis on the word quickly, right? And this is important for any investor. You want to turn in your money as quick as possible and be able to get it into another thing. And that's what we want to talk about in this particular video. And of course, this video is brought to you by Fortreal Rei Ltd, a real estate company right here in the very city of Abuja. And as you already know, we bring you the absolute best of real estate here in Abuja and its environment. And it basically means that you may want to be a part of this family. Now, let's go right into the conversation. I've always talked about long-term land banking, that's LTLB. And of course, short-term land banking, STLB, right? And then I'm going to bring in this conversation, but with this graph, we're able to gain clarity as it relates to how best to quickly get your returns and, most importantly, maximize profit as you make those real estate investments. Now, on this graph, I have from this line, from point 1 to point 2, I have what I like to call long-term land banking. And I did a video where I talked about the two types of land banking in Abuja, and I mentioned long-term and short-term. And in this video, you're going to gain more clarity in that conversation. Now, so from point 1 to point 2, you have long-term land banking. And by my conversation in that video, I had said that long-term land banking is say between 5 years and above, right? And under the short-term land banking, I said that you can even do from as low as 2-3 years to 5 years. This is what I've put together based on my experience and, of course, doing the business for a while. And I've said that short-term land banking is within this period, right? Say 2-3 years and above, up to 5 years. 5 years and above, you're talking about long-term land banking. And under long-term land banking, the reality is that most of the reality generally is that it is underdeveloped. The area is underdeveloped. And if you look at it clearly, you realize that the profit margin is quite low. It is steady and gradual. The appreciation is steady and gradual. And of course, two things are real here. Number one, it is the lowest entry point, right? It is cheaper to enter. This is the lowest entry point, and it is more affordable to enter. So for example, if you at this level between point 1 and point 2, you can say buy land in Abuja, for example, for say 2 million naira, right? A plot of land, depending on the plot size, of course, and a lot of things in between, right? For an FCDA land, right? Now, at this level, if you want to go in from here, you're going in from here at a point where a lot of things have changed from point 1 to point 2. In other words, it is getting clearer that this place is going to be a nice location to invest in, although development has not hit the place. So at this point, you also could call this place emerging locations. And for the fact that it is an emerging location, a lot of things are beginning to gain clarity. In other words, you could point at a couple of houses, you already begin to see government plans or know about government plans, and a few things happening here. And one thing is very clear here, you need expert guidance to be able to play here profitably. And in fact, it is possible that nothing could be indicative of the fact that this place is for short-term land banking, but an expert will know because he knows, or he or she would know what is happening in the system, and of course the future plan of the government. And then if you get it right here, even though you are not even seeing one single house anywhere around, because of the prospect of this particular location, it can still be for short-term land banking, even though it is looking like long-term land banking. But the idea I need you to get from here is the fact that there's a difference between long-term and short-term land banking. And at this point, the price range or your entry point is going to be different. But if you truly want to be strategic and maximize profit, as well as be able to gain your return on investment quickly, of course, quickly is subjective, right? But you get the idea. The idea is for you to get your money back in, say, 2 years, 3 years, or even less, right? If you want to do that, maximize profit as well as get it quickly, then this is the place that you want to play in. Short-term land banking. This is where you should be playing in. I think I should step back a bit and define these two concepts, the land banking and the off-plan concept. I was already working with the impression that I've done a video, an introductory video of all of these, so you may want to check them out. But for those of you who would not be able to go back to look at the video where I did introductory conversations about land banking, let me basically say that land banking simply is that strategy that you employ in the real estate sector where you can buy land, leave it for a while and resell it, or develop it and resell it. By the end of the day, the idea is that you keep the land, right, in a way that you add value to it, or just be able to sell it based on the environmental value that has been added to the land, right? Why off-plan is that strategy that you also employ. This time around, it is with respect to construction. In other words, you are able to key into a project that the company is building. For example, we have projects we're building right now, and then you can get a one-bedroom apartment starting at 13.5 million naira, right? And then we are building gradually, and then you are taking advantage of the payment plan. So you pay across 6 months and we deliver in 12 months, depending on the product. Some of them delivery is 18 months, payment is 12 months. It all depends on which one is most flexible for you, and then the one that we're deciding to put out as an offer, right? So at the end of the day, there's a stipulated period where you get delivery. And the reality most of the time, which is the benefit of keying into off-plan, is that by the time you are done, or by the time we are done delivering that project to you, right, within that 12 to 8 months period, what happens is that most of the times your investment would have either doubled or tripled. And in fact, just to be even more practical, last year, November 2023, we had projects that were put in the market on off-plan, right? And then for some of those projects are 90% ready to be delivered now, and then they are already crossed double in terms of return on investment or capital appreciation. So in other words, by the time we're delivering these projects at the semi-finished level, you most likely will be getting or can comfortably sell them times 3 of whatever you keyed in at the initial deposit level. Now that is a major advantage of keying into off-plan. So even before this guy gets to the point where he wants to live in the house or rent it out to somebody else, he has made times 3 of whatever he invested in within 2 years or less than 2 years. That is the idea of investing quickly, getting your returns quickly, and of course, getting it fast. And this has to be a strategy that you have to employ. So if you're ready and you truly desire to begin to build wealth through real estate and make it as quick as possible and maximize profit, this is where you should play. And 2 things you must do at this level at this range between 0.2 and 0.3 is that you must key into off-plan projects, right? As well as do land banking here. So if your game is not completely long-term, then this is where you should play. If you want to play a long-term game, then you can play here. At that point, you come in at a cheaper rate, but you also be able to get maximum profit if you can wait. Sometimes for as long as 10 to 15, 20 years. Now, one thing you also notice here is the fact that by the time it got to this point, the increase is not as high, or the increase, of course, is not as high as here. And this is the point where you are hitting peak appreciation. So basically between 0.3 and 4, this place is now considered to be developed. And the moment it is developed, your idea is no longer, or your priority should no longer be appreciation. Your priority should now be cash flow. And this is what I refer to as the cash flow point. So any investment you are making here, be rest assured that you are buying it at a very high price. And when you buy it at a very high price, don't prioritize appreciation. What you should be doing here is cash flow. So again, this is the point that you focus on cash flow, no longer appreciation. And of course, this is a conversation for another day. Yes, there are strategies that you can explore at this particular level. So in summary, the entire essence of this conversation is to show you how you can build wealth quickly and maximize profit using real estate. But this time around, exploring two strategies: land banking and the off-plan strategy, and showing you how you can play in this short-term range to be able to maximize profit. If you key into a one-bedroom apartment here, like we have for 13.5 million naira right now, by the time this place is, all the factors are moving into play and then pushing the development in this particular area, you can comfortably sell that same one-bedroom apartment that is for 13.5 million naira for as high as 50 million naira by the time we're even getting to the point of peak performance. And of course, as it proceeds, everything is going to continue to give you good returns on investment. And the moment you step into this point, you now begin to talk about cash flow. So you've moved from just enjoying appreciation to enjoying cash flow, which is a long-term game of real estate. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the conversation I wanted to have with you today. So if you're interested in opportunities in this point of building wealth, I mean the short-term land banking point, that is the point 2 and point 3, you can reach out to the number on your screen. We have amazing products that at this point that can guarantee getting you good returns on investment as quick as possible, and of course give you the opportunity to maximize profit to the point where you can jump into cash flow and make good money from real estate. Of course, if you're interested in the long-term land banking options available that we have, you can as well reach out to the number showing on your screen. My name is Raymond Ijoma, and I am the lawyer that loves real estate. Or if you like the real estate entrepreneur, there is this law and real estate as a tool in building wealth for myself and my clients. And I hope that you are now my client, having listened to this amazing, valuable conversation that gives you clarity as relates to how you too can begin to build wealth. One thing I've learned about real estate is the fact that you need somebody to hold your hand, or a company, a brokerage firm, a group of people to hold your hand, really. And if you find that set of people, that person, do hold the person really tight, because it's only a question of time. You too can begin to build wealth leveraging on real estate. If you find us worthy, do reach out to the number on your screen. We're happy to serve you and serve you with the absolute best of real estate. As you can clearly see, we don't just show you what to invest in. We also educate so that you know how to safely and rightly invest in a way that can help you build wealth through real estate. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment, and do stay in touch with us. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you in the next video.